There's a new poll out that finds that 2/3 of Americans are worried about disinformation in elections, that Americans are also concerned about open and honest elections. The poll also found that Democrats are more confident in election integrity than Republicans are. So this morning, we're joined by Public Affairs Council President Doug Pinkham, who's here with us this morning to go over some of these numbers. You know, as we head into election season, this is really important because, you know, the number one thing you want in elections is people's confidence in them. So what did we learn here in this poll?
Well, among other things, we found that, you know, a good percentage of Americans are not confident the election will be honest and open. So we drilled a little bit deeper to see, you know, where is this coming from? And 2/3 of Americans say it's disinformation. These are considered the major sources of disinformation, according to our poll. Social media, which is probably accurate.
This one's social media, in case you can't read it on the screen.
Right. And what's interesting about that is the age group that is most concerned about social media is young people. And these are the same young people who aren't concerned about privacy, whatever else, but they're the biggest users. Frankly, their parents should probably be worried as well. Unfortunately,
this one worries me.
It should, and it should worry all of us.
It says 40% of the people, you know, expect different information from the news media.
That's right.
What does that tell you?
It's another one of those partisan things. Democrats tend to have a lot more trust in the news media. Republicans not so much, but we should also be aware that independents seem to have less trust in the news media. So it's a real problem facing our society.
Now, just to break this down, obviously in the world of cable news, there are, you know, different cable networks that cater to different audiences. Is this news media in general, or is there a separate out from newspapers, television news, other magazine sources?
This is news media in total. There's actually another study from the Institute of Public Relations that looks at media source by source, and but it's an overwhelming, you know, negative attitude toward news media and how much you can trust them, and that they're actually spreading disinformation.
Let's break this down between the political parties here, because 32% say Republican candidates, 28% are the Democratic candidates. But I'm wondering, with the Republicans and the Democrats, is this Democrats talking about Republicans or Republicans talking about Democrats?
Both. I mean, it's basically saying which party do you have, you know, trust in, or who's going to be spreading more disinformation. And so they're relatively close, but they're outside the margin of error, so there's a little bit less trust in the Republican Party.
There's another chart I want to throw up here because I think this is some interesting information as far as you look at the top 7 most trusted sources of political information. And number 1, if anybody had some fun around the Thanksgiving table, 68% said friends and family.
We should ask this question the day after Thanksgiving, I think, because people just, you know, when there's a low level of trust in institutions like government and the news media and business, they rely on their friends and family. But social media is not considered all that trustworthy. So my question is, what about that crazy uncle that you put up with at Thanksgiving who says nutty things on social media?
And there's a lot of disagreements in families.
There absolutely is.
43% said businesses were a trusted source. Businesses are giving people their political information?
Well, within a lot of companies, you have, you know, political action committees, you have grassroots campaigns, you have companies briefing employees and others on current events. But I should tell you that it's overwhelmingly friends and family. Business is at about 50-50. Same with associations. The news media is a little bit behind. The negative thing there, though, is 57% of Americans don't trust the news media for political news.
And for our own purposes, how does the news media turn this around, do you think? Because coming in 41% of the top 7 most trusted sources of political information is probably not where the news business wants to be right now.
But my answer is not going to make a lot of journalists happy. It's not about facts. Study after study in behavioral science shows that people form opinions based on emotion, and then we cherry pick the facts. And this is why a lot of those fact-checking news sites don't get a lot of attention, because it's not about what's right, it's what people believe. And I think frankly, the news media needs to think more about, you know, why people believe what they do and how they can turn it around, rather than just confronting them with the truth.
So if there is a lesson from all of this, is it that people might not necessarily look at used to be traditional sources of information in the same way they used to?
That's very, very true. And that's just the reality we live in, and a lot of it has to do with the internet and, you know, a more complex, diverse society. But things aren't going to change quickly, so we have to kind of deal with this, and I think we have to learn more and do more research on why people believe what they believe.
Is the fact that disinformation as a conversation piece helpful in all of that? Because if people are aware that there is disinformation about that, they might be on more of an alert to watch out for it?
I think that's true. It's just like in school when they talk about teaching financial literacy, so you're a smart consumer. I think schools need to teach you to be a good consumer of political news and information. I think skepticism is healthy. Cynicism, not so much.
Maybe put in a word to our schools here and maybe start teaching this stuff
Yes, absolutely.
before people get out of school.
I agree.
Doug Pinkham from the Public Affairs Council, thank you so much. It's critical information. We should all pay attention to this. All right.